OzChomp warning. The following gameplay includes content for a mature audience. This may include violence, horror, blood and guts, spooky things, coarse language, even sexy rude stuff, drinky smoky tokey things or items including any or all of these themes. Some viewers may be uncomfortable with this. Please stop the video if you are not happy to hear or view such subject matter. Remember, it's just a game, so let's have fun. Thank you.
Slowly now. Come into the light where I can see you. Wait. You're not one of the scientific staff. Who the blazes are you? I know every face on the project, and you're not one of them. How did you know I was down here? You found it in... You mean to say you were inside the interchange? Just how did you get in there? They sealed the place tight. You found one. Just found a keycard. I believe you. It's so ludicrous that I searched to no avail. Will you just find one? Too ludicrous to be untrue. The interchange. Open again after all this time. Astonishing. I thought it was sealed for good, and its contents forever out of reach. But look, do you realize what this means? If you have access to the interchange, then we might be able to stop this nightmare before it spreads beyond the wall. You must have seen it. In the interchange. That damned infestation. We first discovered the growth at the Oberon site. I was one of the team assigned to study it. You know, at first we thought it was benign. Beneficial even, according to the early results. In our experiments, small doses of the growth in a purified form showed the most astonishing effect on cognitive capability. But it was not purified nearly enough, as it transpired. Its active agent was much more active than we realized. What it was doing to both our bodies and our minds all the while, it beggars imagination. We thought we held the future in a test tube. But all we had isolated was evil in its purest form. I need you to go back to the medical facility, and this time go deeper. All the way down to the quarantine level. Somewhere in there is a sealed cylinder. It's labeled Sample 1. Find it and bring it here to me. Do that, and I can promise answers. Answers and a way out of here. Here's my keycard. It will get you deeper into the medical section. Before you go, you should help yourself to a dose of my inoculant. There's one lying around here somewhere. If you ever encounter a thick area of growth or are suffering from a potent strain of the infection, that stuff will ease the burden. It should give you a better chance of surviving infested areas. And with any luck, it will silence the voices in your head. Best of luck.
Citizens of Wyndham, the army is here to help and protect you. Trust us and help us to help you. Follow the protocol. Attention! Prisoner Garrow has escaped from the detention facility. All citizens should be on the lookout for this dangerous malefactor. Be vigilant.
A bit of democracy wouldn't go amiss. Thought that was what the court were for.
Citizens of Wyndham, pagan practices of any kind are strictly forbidden. Any breach of this regulation is punishable by death. Citizens of Wyndham, you are reminded that any building
Let's not have any trouble.
is off limits prior to demolition. Trespass is a serious offense. is a serious offense. Attention! There has been an incident at the detention center. Report any unusual strangers
Hands away
to
from any
protocol
weapons.
forces immediately. Do you know that person? And the quarantine protocol is no longer responsible for your safety. If you approach any military areas in the area, you will be presumed to have hostile intent, and you will be fired upon. Remember, a warning shot is a wasted bullet.
Of Dr. Holder's plan is uncertain. Poison is not a reliable weapon. You should do as you are told. The contamination must be burned. The wound must be cauterized.
Bang it away! Find out!
Dying.
Is now in effect. Reports to the armory for additional supplies.
Tight, squad.
Sneaking around down there.
Firing! And by your train!
We lost one.
Detention facility. All escaped detainees should be tracked and
There you are.
using means necessary.
I see you over there.
Check it out.
Strategic Contingency Plan Indigo 9 is now in effect. Report to the armory for additional supplies.
We'll see what's what. Gone. They were here.
Let's go have a look.
Gotta be round
Oh, come on, bit. Fine, pal. Right, reload the
Out of the way.
You asked for it.
Lost them! Damn it!
Alert! A
Better check it out.
containment breach has been reported at the detention facility. Strategic Contingency Plan
see you.
Indigo 9 is now in effect. Report to the armory.
I'll find you. Yes,
Alert! There has been a Class 4 security breach at the
Yes,
detention
got that.
facility. All escaped detainees should be tracked and contained using any means necessary.
Who's there?
Alert! A containment breach has been reported at the detention facility. Strategic Contingency Plan.
I knew it! There's someone here!
Now in
I'm
effect.
shooting!
Report to the armory for additional supplies.
Oi! Heads up! Ah!
Alert! There has been a Class 4 security breach at the detention facility.
Here we go.
All escaped detainees should be tracked and
Proper
activated
buggers you are.
using any means.
Need to reload. Right, you!
Alert! There has been a Class 4 security breach at
Disconnected. Shut you down.
Now here. They've had it away. Hey! I see it! You
Reminder for robotics personnel. Mining operations remain on hiatus until investigation is completed. If you require access to the workings, speak directly with the inquiry team.
I saw that. Come here. Take this.
Returning to patrol.
Don't do anything stupid. Nice and slow now.
You farting now!
Get some bullets in here! I'm firing. Doubt you'll be alright. Bloody typical. Come.
receiving this? What the blue blazes happened just now? Who declared quarantine?
Dr. Holder.
Dr. Garrow? Is that you? Where are you?
Alan, listen to me.
Diane, where are you? Is this your doing? We're locked in.
There was an explosion. We had to...
Had to what? Where are you, Diane?
I'm on the evacuation convoy. I'm sorry, Alan. There was no time.
okay now. Just calm down. No need for upset.
Don't go asking.
Go on.
Don't
Get
go
out of the way.
asking for trouble, or you'll get it.
Come on then. You bastard.
You'll rue this day. Not firing.
They've gone outside. Not your wind. Dead body. I heard something. I'm sure.
Stay put. Oh no, you don't. You're going nowhere. Bastard.
Attention! Wyndham Village is under the authority of the Quarantine Protocol. Acts of banditry and other breaches of the Penal Charter will be severely punished. Attention! There has been a theft from the village hall. Do you have any information about this crime? If so, report it immediately to the protocol officer. Remember, colluding with criminals is a serious offense.
Look, for the 100th time, we're here to protect civilians and get this mess sorted out.
Oh, aye. Get a lot sorted out by kicking the elderly out of the rooms, do you?
You know what the captain said? We have to move anybody vulnerable inside the inner perimeter.
Vulnerable? The bloody cheek of you! Ah, at least the outlaws have the common decency to rub us blind and not tell us it's for our own bloody good.
Right, listen to me, you old knout. Orders is orders. You obey orders, or it's the jug for you.
You'd never chuck us in the prison. I'd die there. You'd never.
Watch me. You should be thanking us for protecting you. You know that?
Aye, I suppose so.
You suppose so? Let me hear you say it.
Thank you. Thank you for protecting us.
That's better. Now gather your tat and get out.
Keep it civilized.
Pagan practices of any kind are strictly forbidden.
Again.
Any breach of this regulation is punishable by death.
Not sure I like the look of you.
Time is of the essence. With any luck, Sample 1 will still be hidden away in the medical facility. You found the sample? But this is wonderful. For the first time in years, there's hope. A true, viable hope. Those used to be some of the finest minds in the country. Country be damned in the world. My colleagues, trapped there when the laboratory was sealed. Now I need to get to work on this sample. This alien muck has vulnerabilities, but taking advantage of them is difficult. But I can see you're curious and you've earned some answers, should you want them. Is there anything that you want to know? It's an official secret, for all the weight that carries now. Oberon is the code name for the meteorite they found buried here. It was uncovered just after the war, during the evacuation of new slate mine workings. That discovery was the reason they built this whole circus here. I dearly wish it had remained undisturbed. The rock itself contained remarkable minerals, instrumental in the creation of the atomic batteries, and all the other marvels you've no doubt already encountered. But they drilled too deep into Oberon, and, at its core, discovered organic matter. That was sample 1. A team of biologists, myself included, were assigned to analyze it. But the Oberon investigative team drilled too deep. There was some sort of violent and highly energetic feedback that collapsed part of the plant and triggered the quarantine. That was in 1957. It is abominable. Plainly extraterrestrial, voracious and implacable. At first, the top brass was excited by the potential it showed. In small doses, it seemed to accelerate our ability to learn to a remarkable degree. Your mind expanded. As if you had a connection to lost knowledge that you had somehow forgotten and were simply rediscovering it. But then, some of us started to change. We barely had time to start coming to terms with it. The explosion at the Oberon site came just days later. The quarantine was declared, and they trapped us in the lab. They left us for dead. Our own colleagues. You mean, why am I still trapped in the medical section? We didn't know it at the time, but there was a breach towards the back of the lab. Thanks to my experimental inoculation, I was able to resist the infection, to keep my own personality and intellect intact. I escaped through the tunnels under the lab. The only place I could think of to hide was there. When it seemed there was more to this growth than the BARD top brass wanted to admit, some of my colleagues and I decided to set up a very unofficial lab. This is it. It was hard work carting all this gear undetected, but we managed it. The vicar agreed to let us use the crypt for storage years ago, before the disaster. We made a small donation. To the church, you understand. And he didn't ask any questions after that. Now, I need to get to work on turning this sample active but toxic. A biological time bomb, if you will. In the meantime, there's something else you may be able to help me with. In return, I can assure you a route out of here. That's the deal. Sometimes, at night, I go up to the church tower and listen to the sentries chatting down below. I've heard some chatter that suggests my old colleague Dr. Garrow came back into the zone. I hear that Garrow somehow escaped from the soldiers' prison. That was your doing, I presume. Please tell me where she is. I very much need to see her. It's vitally important. She and I worked on the Oberon project. Garrow's a cyberneticist. That's the science of control, if you're unfamiliar with the term. She was over on the technological end of things, leading the development of the robots. A very brilliant woman, and obsessively devoted to her work above all else. When the quarantine was declared, well, she got out, and we didn't. I never thought I'd have the chance to see her again. But it seems she couldn't leave well enough alone and just had to come back. It's vital I see her about something before we can leave. Of course. I might have known. Thank you. I'll finish my work here, and then make my way to her.
I'm sorry, we're closed today. Please leave. Please, I beg of you. Just forget you saw anything here and go. Please. These are awful times. If news of this gets out, things will get worse, I assure you. Please, tell no one. I know how it seems, but I would not ask such a thing if it weren't for the good of the village. It's vital the military don't learn of this. We'll tidy up, but if the captain and his toy soldiers find out, things will become so much worse here. All I can concern myself with right now is keeping this quiet. I must decide what to do about this before any soldier wanders in. I would suggest you let all this lie too. The matter is best left to the village to handle. All too many a reason, I'm sad to say. There are certain beliefs around here. Harmless before the disaster, but since, with the protocol now imposing their law, it has all become somewhat tribal. Maisie here must have got mixed up in something. The weapon that was used to, a peculiar choice. It puts me in mind of those debauched druids out in the woods. Well, we call them druids. I'm not sure what they call themselves. The disaster seems to have fostered the return of some distinctly atavistic, indeed thoroughgoing pagan sentiments around here. The following sprang up in Casterfell Woods shortly after, in the ruins of an old castle, and has since bloomed into a vicious cult, certain death. That's what you'll be met with if you choose to enter the woods. I advise you to stay well away. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some things to work out. You'll do the right thing, I'm sure. God go with you. What in heaven's name shall we do with you, Maisie?
Not sure about you.
Citizens of Wyndham, the army is here to help and protect you. Trust us and help us to help you. Follow the protocol. of Wyndham. The woods are still off limits. If you need to approach the woods for foraging, request an escort at the village hall.
Make work around.
Citizens of Wyndham, volunteers are required for work details on Scattermore. Work out to help out. Citizens of
Ah, it's you. The shopkeeper. Good heavens above. I knew something was off about him, but nothing as foul as that. Then I must ask something of you. You're embroiled in this now, as much as we are. To find absolution, well, you must find some way to deal with Morris. An ally to those heathens in the woods is a danger to the village. Not that I'm suggesting you. Well, I'll leave it to your judgment. Thank you. It is a terrible thing to ask, I know. Now that Maisie is dead, there is no one else I can trust to be able to carry out such a task. And in the spirit of reciprocation, if you are in need of my help, you need only ask. I am here if you wish to talk, to unburden your soul. And if you'll forgive me for saying so, you seem troubled. Might I ask why? I don't suppose, well, have you perhaps been hearing voices? You have? Oh, heavens, may the good Lord protect you. It is a sign of vile corruption. It cannot be tolerated. It must be confronted. I saw it in the baker's husband. The baker, Iris, told me he was hearing voices and had fallen terribly ill. I haven't seen her husband for a number of weeks now. So I trust she came to her senses and took the necessary action. You don't seem to be showing any other symptoms, however. Perhaps the corruption has not taken hold. You may stay without denunciation. For now. I only wish he had come to me sooner. My prayers might have reached him in the early stages of his fall from grace. But he is beyond that now. I must think of the rest of the village. We have seen some very bad times here. I don't really know why such misfortune has befallen us. Only that it started with that wretched science city they built across the mere. They did something. Heaven knows what. And now it is laced with evil. You can smell it in the air. I doubt I would understand any of it. Besides which, the village occupies all my time. The people here need a guiding hand, not an oppressive one. The military presence, this protocol nonsense of theirs, has done that to us, and with no sign of respite. Pressure like that breeds corruption. I must obey the Lord's will and fight against such things. You, on the other hand, seem of a curious nature. I can offer you something, but you must be cautious about prying too deeply. Well, I was on cordial terms with one or two of the scientists stationed up here. The important ones lodged at a manor house out in Casterfell Woods. I doubt any are still alive. But they may have left notes or papers that could prove useful to you. But you didn't hear that from me. All right. You did? I see. Well, yes, it's true. She ran errands for me from time to time. I asked her to keep an eye on certain people. She has had quite a talent for it. I have a certain arrangement of sorts with some of the villagers. In a world as terrible as this, with evil in the soil and a military boot on their necks, who can blame those who turn to the church for protection? I offer what I can, in return for a small donation to the church. But it is necessary for me to keep some eyes on them as well. In case they waver, there is a lot of temptation within the zone, and temptation too easily leads to corruption. Oh, Lord, not you as well. Listen, the pressure of living in these walls, it can cause one's mind to play tricks. But I assure you there are no ghosts here. No one has been inside the cellar since the disaster. The key was lost along with the scientists, God rest their souls. Perhaps you should get some rest, I'd like to avoid any ghostly rumors being spread about the place. Farewell, and God bless you.
Attention! Prisoner Garrow has escaped from the detention facility. All citizens should be on the lookout for this dangerous malefactor. Be vigilant. Citizens of Wyndham, you are reminded that any building marked as sterilized is off limits prior to demolition. Trespass is a serious offense. Attention! There has been a theft from the village hall. Do you have any information about this crime? If so...
Hello again. Hello again. Shh! Shut your bloody trap before you bring every nosy bastard in here. All right, look. Just hear me out, eh? See, we're a rotten one, that un. Tattling folk out to the vicar's so he can load it over us. She never had out on me. Not till last night when she found that letter. Then she carried on like I'd thrown in me lot were old Hitler or summat. Called me a traitor, like I ever had any loyalty to the protocol lot. I'm no killer, not born to it, but she were poison, that un, and so is Vicar. Summat had to be done. Him? My socks are holier than he is. We give our donations to the church, and in return he keeps the protocol sweet, or so he says. Truth is, he worms his way into people's lives, finds out about matters that won't sit well with soldiers, and holds them over us. Blackmail it is, pure and simple. Oh, aye. Or chuck you in that jail of theirs, which is just as much a death sentence, except slower. All I'm saying is that we messed up, with factories and machines and that. We should have stayed close to the soil. Simple as that. How is that treason? I'm not wicked, you know. I just have a purpose in life, that's all. Something better. But that Maisie... she were going to shout it from rooftops if I didn't pay to keep her and that vicar quiet. She had to go, and I had to do it somewhere Vicar couldn't just sweep it under the rug. He can't go running off to the captain when it looks like he might have blood on his hands. Please, I know what I'm asking, but let it go, will you? Give us that letter back and we can both forget all about it. I'll make it worth your while, I promise. What? And leave the village without a shop? I don't just run this place, you know. I find the supplies it depends on. Wyndham will starve. You can't make me leave. You're a heartless one, aren't you? You don't leave me any choice. All right. I'll go the first minute I can leave, without making those protocol gowlighters suspicious.
One day, I'll leave here, get through the wall.
Shame we can't do that,
Somehow.
Rather few locals, does it?
Prior to demolition. Trespass is a serious offense.
News travels fast here. I'm told Morris will no longer cause us any problems in the village. Thank you for finding some sort of resolution to all this. How did you... You're very well informed, I must say. Very well. This key will open a box upstairs. You'll find your payment in there. Farewell, and God bless you.
Attention! There has been an incident at the detention center. Report any unusual strangers. No! I need help! Help! No, not like this!
now.
Citizens of Wyndham, acts of insubordination or disrespect against the soldiers protecting you here are, in essence, treasonous and will be treated as such. Please, don't make us hurt you.
Thought as much.
Beyond the village palings. Do you have a good reason to leave the village? Citizens of Wyndham, if you or you are leaving Wyndham, and the quarantine protocol is no longer responsible for your safety. The area you are entering is known to contain outlaws, lunatics, and monstrosities. Remember, a warning shot is a wasted bullet. You have been warned.
Hello, is somebody in here? Good Lord, I can hardly believe it. Alan Holder. Alive and kicking. After all these years. If there's one thing I admired about you, it was your persistence. Are you just gonna stand there? What is it you want? That.
Sure it came from this way.
Gone, are they? Must have spooked him.
Wish we'd moved on. We should try somewhere else.
My apologies. I'm very sorry that you had to be here for that. I know what you must be thinking, but Garrow is not innocent in this. She doomed the whole project with her recklessness. And when the chickens came home to roost, she trapped us and saved her own neck. She left us to die as if we were an embarrassment. Witness to the horror created by her hubris. Somebody had to do this, and I'm the last one left. Garrow was a manipulator. If you try and use her, she'll end up using you. We don't need her. Believe me, we must turn our attention to what lies in front of us. To be back in this place is the last thing I was expecting. It's monumentous. It's a miracle. Now finally we can finish all this. The last step is simple. I have the sample now laced with my toxin. You'll need to find a way to spread it to the source of the growth, into Oberon itself. It must go in at the root to poison the whole organism. Using the poisoned sample is the only way we can be sure of killing Oberon. We have to be sure. Do you understand? We have to be certain. There was plenty of equipment set up to analyze and mine the Oberite from the meteorite shell. Some of that gear might still function and provide a way to place the toxin at the core. Excellent. Here, take this sample. Take the poisoned sample to the Oberon site. Restoring power to the interchange will gain you access to the Windscale plant and Oberon. But once you use the toxic sample, things will get hot out here quickly. We'll need to escape as soon as is humanly possible. If you have anything else to attend within the zone, I suggest you do that before then. Once the interchange is fully powered, you should be able to reach the Windscale plant and Oberon. Make sure to spread the poison into Oberon itself. Then we'll be free at last. You can see why I must keep myself hidden away down here. Yes, it's under control, but I'll never be entirely free of it. Thanks to this apparatus, I found a way to inoculate myself, halting the infection before it could fully establish itself. If my colleagues had shown more faith in my line of experimentations, well, we wouldn't be where and what we are now.
Listen, Assault. You think you can escape with one of the other heathens? There is no escape from what you are. Without the voice, there is no escape from that small world inside your skull. Live your life alone in a fleshly prison then. To hear the voice is salvation. You are offered a gift, and you spurned it. You will never be offered it again. If you will not be with the voice, you will only feed the soil. And that is all that awaits you.
Aye, that's bloody right.
You will be more use dead.
Let's get the bastards!
You have succeeded. Come here. You took a risk. Now, overrun me, and you have earned your reward.
You won't be told again. Off with you.
Go back to the beginning. Go back to where you belong.
Unbelievers.
That all you? What the? Hang on. You'll be fine.
Leave him! He's broken! Little bugger!
Someone there?
Oh,
Leave.
what's that?
Heretics will die.
You can't fight here. Oi, 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 I know I heard something.
Eh?
Go, if you want to live. Caught ya. Take this.
I'm taking a shot.
A soil will feed.
Let's see how I like this.
Heretics will die. Come on then. You're off the window there.
Damn it! They've been killed. You'll die here. You'll suffer what you've done. Remember your training.
Go? Or you're dead meat.
You made it! I owe you every thanks. The country does. Damn it, the world does. The infernal whispering in my mind that has dogged me for 5 years, they're fading into silence. Blissful silence. Do you understand? The toxin is working. Soon the interference field will come down and people will begin to arrive from outside. There may be some awkward questions when that happens. People who haven't lived through what we have might not understand why we did what we did. Come on. We should leave before they arrive. It's better for us to stay hidden. Trust me. For the moment, we're potential specimens, not people. Now, are you ready? Stay close. There's a secret route out here. With luck, these wretched blue eyes of ours will fade over time. Until then, we'll need to hide where no one can find us. Come on.
You helped Dr. Alan Holder in his plan to create a special toxin to deal with Oberon. It certainly seems to have worked. Now you may leave with Holder, although his plans only ever extended as far as killing Oberon. You listened to good advice and wise words, which is to say, my advice and my words. So many shoot first and ask questions afterwards. Not you, though. Gregarious type, aren't you? It's nice to have a good chinwag, isn't it? Oberon is dead, poisoned by your hand, and the potent toxin developed by Dr. Holder. The interference field should rapidly fade now. And perhaps the outside world will finally see what has happened here. So ends the quarantine.
The woods are dark and the woods lie deep, and the woods are home to summers don't sleep. So sit thee down and hear me tell of the woods that stand on Casterfell. For the trees stand close, are watered in blood. Stay out of that place, be you blithe, be you good. There's no virtuous errand that ever you should ever need to walk in Casterfell Wood. Madmen and scoundrels go into that place and are never more seen and are gone without grace. They dine at the table of Casterfell Keep, then stand in the ranks of them as don't sleep. For the trees stand close, are watered in blood. Stay out of that place, be you blithe, be you good. There's no virtuous errand that ever you should ever need to walk in Casterfell Wood. So a word to the wise if you fear for your soul. Stay far from the keep in the trees on the knoll. Or you might join the ranks of those wretched men, and you'll never know the pleasure of sleep again. For the trees stand close, are watered in blood. out of that place. Be you blithe, be you good. There's no virtuous errand that ever you should ever need to walk in Casterfell Wood.
OzChomp